us as we count down to post for the 129th running of the Kentucky Oaks, and we check the odds here. Elo Love and Lady Tack, the 1 and the 7 horse night co-favorites at 3-1.
Lady Tack finished a few lengths behind Elo Love in their last start, the Ashland, but obviously the handicappers are seeing things a little more equally for this race, and actually I tend to agree with them. My Boston Gal and Santa Catarina co-second choices, each at 5-1.
Go for Glamour, 20-1 morning line, now at 42-1 if you like her at all. That's a exotic horse to include.
She was third in the Santa Anita Oaks, so it's not like she doesn't have any background at all. You should get a look there at Bob and Beverly Lewis's colors. Santa Catarina. Bob and Beverly just won the Crown Royal American Turf with Senor Swinger in a race just a half hour ago.
Nice to have your 5th or 6th best 3-year-old colt coming in with big stakes on Oaks Day, you know. Here is Elo Love. We talked about it. Robbie Alvarado very fortunate to pick this mount up, and at Valenzuela chose to ride Calf Wayne, and there was a conflict, and now Alvarado's got the favorite, at least the co-favorite here. Number 2 horse is My Boston Gal, trained by Carl Noskero. He had a big stakes score today, ridden by Day, of course, who's had a big day already. Number 3 is Go for Glamour, trained by Bo Greeley, ridden by Alex Solis, seeking his first Oaks win, another California-based contender.
Trainer Nick Zito's won the Derby twice, but never the Oaks, and he's got 2 shots in here. The first one, number 4, Holiday Lady. The K there representing the fact that Holiday Lady sold at the Keeneland sale. This horse was 3rd in the Ashland last time out. He has Jose Santos. And he also has this horse Zito does, the 5 horse, Bird Town, the horse that was 2nd in the Beaumont last out. Owner Mary Lou Whitney has never won the Oaks, but her late husband, C.V. Whitney, did. He won it twice in 36 and in 1958. Horse racing filled with history. The number 6 horse, Yell, speaking of history, co-owned by Claiborne Farm, trained by Shug McGahee, the best bred horse in the race. Fabulous pedigree, 4th in the Ashland with an excuse before that, an easy winner in the Davona Dale.
Good thing you like her. There is the 7 horse Lady Tack. Steve Asmussen, Jerry Bailey aboard for the first time, exuding confidence in her. The 2nd of the Ashland after the 5 wins to begin her career. Runner-up to Lady Tack at Fairgrounds Oaks by a 3.5 was the 8 horse Atlantic Ocean, ridden by David Flores, her regular rider. Despite her name, she is Pacific Ocean based, twice winning rated stakes in California. Needs kind of her career race and then some. The 9 is Tempest Fugit, a real long shot, a speed horse ridden by Shane Sellers for the first time, trained by Kenny McPeak. She's improving, but she's jumped her way up today.
Bob Baffert's 2 horses in here cost a total of $2.8 million. That's one end of the spectrum. Here's the other. Number 10, In Case of Wind, sold 3 times for a total of $12,300. She is 60-1 right now. She looks like it on paper. Her trainer Bill Million says she never misses an oat, so we know we can eat. She can eat, but we'll see how well she can run. The 11 is Santa Catarina. This is the $950,000 Bob Baffert purchase. The other one, Atlantic Ocean, was $1.9 million. Santa Catarina, a winner last time out, very impressively, of an allowance race, at least by 5 lengths. She was a clear winner. And the 12 is a long shot that might have a chance at 19-1, Island Fashion, the winner of the WinStar Sunland Oaks at Sunland Park just outside of El Paso. You don't have many Kentucky Derby winners coming from Sunland Park, but she looked pretty good that day. And Pat Valenzuela, leading jockey at Santa Anita meet, gets them out.
Training well here, kind of a latecomer to the 3-year-old filly phrase. They're headed for the starting gate. When we come back, the 129th running of the Derby for 3-year-old fillies. The Oaks just ahead from Churchill Downs as the sun comes out. And welcome back once again. It's the Kentucky Oaks presented by Visa on ESPN2. We talked about Farda Amiga's upset a year ago, setting off the giant Brazilian Fiesta. She was 20-1, Randy, in that race. 20-1 is the 4th biggest upset in Kentucky Oaks history. We talked about the balance of this field. Is another upset possible? It's about the time to look for a long shot here, my friend.
Bud long shot for the Kentucky Oaks, number 4, Holiday Lady. Why? She was 3rd in the Ashland last time out, finishing 3/4 of a length behind Lady Tack. In this race, Lady Tack is 3-1. Holiday Lady is 27-1. But we didn't want you to think it was just our idea. We sought out a little confidence, perhaps, from her trainer, Nick Zito.
Holiday Lady is long and robust and thin, and she basically has a staying type of style. where the distance shouldn't be any problem. And she runs well all the time. And she also finished second in the Golden Rod as a 2-year-old here at Churchill Downs in the fall.
She's got it all. She's robust and thin.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's an interesting comment.
There was a look at the Bonnie Miss, and you can see she stumbled pretty badly at the start in that race, and she was in against some pretty tough competition, including My Boston Gal, who she will face again today. She rallies on the outside there, trying to lug in just a bit, but she switches running leads under Avar Coa and comes on strongly to finish third. Now, she was 3 lengths behind My Boston Gal in that race, but if she hadn't stumbled at the start, you could make a case that she would be closer. Her sire, Deputy Commander, has 2 horses in the Kentucky Derby tomorrow, 10 Most Wanted and Brancusi, so the sire's hot. For all those reasons,
keep an eye on the black silk with the white diamond, worn by Jose Santos. Hank, what do you think about the Oaks?
Well, my long shot is Yell, who is getting a little money at 6-1 right now, but Shug McGee, he's very good with these fillies, and this is part of his backup team, but she's a very nice filly, as she indicated by winning the Devona Dale down in Florida very convincingly. I still like Lady Tack on top. This is the Devona Dale, and look at the move that she makes and how she just eases away from the field here. As been giving her a little whip a little bit, but she is much the best on a speed favoring track, I might add. So I like her chances today. She didn't run well at the Ashland, but as we all know, that's a speed favoring track that doesn't favor her style.
Needs a different pace scenario, most feel, to have the same kind of success. But if she's making her move, it's typically on that far turn.
Yeah, she does. In the Ashland, there was a double whammy working against her because she not only had the speed favoring racetrack to deal with, but she also had very, very slow fractions.
But today, the 2 horses trained by Bob Baffert, Atlantic Ocean and Santa Catarina, coming off long layoffs. You saw the success. It's been a successful pattern in recent Oaks.
It has been. 4 of the last 5 Kentucky Oaks winners were coming off long layoffs like that, and both of Baffert's fillies fit that pattern.
One of them better than other. I mean, Santa Catarina is a horse that Gary Stevens is very confident about. Of course, he won on Silver Bull. He feels good about this horse. Bob Baffert was very, very positive this morning.
He was positive, especially because not only did she win her last race, she won it when she wasn't 100% fit. He thinks she'll improve a lot. She's training very well, and she could contribute to an interesting pace scenario in here because Elo Love has the inside post and is expected to go to the lead, but this could be a lot tougher on her today.
The fillies that were beating her earlier, Storm Flag Flying, Composure, not in this race. Casualties along the way.
Exactly. Here's what I think is one of the most interesting things about the pace scenario here. Elo Love has been able to set controlled paces against short fields and easy fractions, pretty much have things her own way. She may not get that situation today, so that's why I think she's a very beatable favorite at 5-2.
This should be fun. The notion of a blanket finish has been tossed out there by some of the trainers. Could be real tight.
This is one of the most evenly matched Kentucky Oaks that I can remember, that's for sure.
Luke Kreitbos with the call.
Thanks, Chris. I hope it's not a blanket finish as far as calling the race, but Holiday Lady goes up, and Birdtown is going in, just about set. Santa Catarina in the Lewis colors. 2 back now. We're waiting for Yell for Claiborne Farm. Trainer Shug McGahee and Island Fashion up to the outside, who won the Windstar Oaks at Sunland Park and actually called this horse as a maiden at Turf Paradise in Phoenix 3 races back. Island Fashion with Pat Valenzuela to the outside. Gave in the start from Roger Nagel. Island Fashion walks right up. Locked in, all set. All in line. Off and running in the Kentucky Oaks. It's a fast start for Elo Love up the inside. Lady Tack broke perfectly. My Boston Gal will join the fray with Tempest Future. The long shot up on the outside. Island Fashion up into the 4th spot now. Yells racing 5th. Go for Glamour. Up the inside gets the rail run in Santa Catarina. They're followed up by Holiday Lady, who rides the rail 5 lengths off the pace. Go for Glamour. Put in some tight quarters along the inside. Santa Catarina gains 3 wide. Then it's Birdtown, Atlantic Ocean, and 2 back to In Case of Wind. A dozen off the lead. Almost single file out of the backside. Elo Love and Robbie Alvarado and Eck. Tempest Fugit pressing the pace. The long shot under Shane Sellers in 2nd. My Boston Gal tugs hard in 3rd. Island Fashion 4th. Lady Tack 5th. Yell's got 7 to make up. Santa Catarina's in mid-pack now, followed by Birdtown, and it's 2 back to Atlantic Ocean. Holiday Lady nudged along early. 3 back to go for Glamour. And In Case of Wind, the long shot at the back of the pack, half in 46 seconds flat. Moving towards the far turn, it's Elo Love. 3 parts of a length in front. Tempest Fugit right State there second. Lady Tack up to join the top pair in third. My Boston Gal shuffle back and forth. She's bottled up at the moment now. And there goes Santa Catarina. And she's picking off fillies one by one. Yelp follows her into stride. Island Fashion up with a fighting chance now. And Birdtown gets involved in Atlantic Ocean. Santa Catarina up to take a lead. Past the quarter pole by ahead. Lady Tack digs in. Ella Love has something left in the tank. She's set down by Alvarado. And 3 across the track as they head for home. Santa Catarina. Lady Tack game between. It's that now on Ella Love. Far outside. Birdtown comes on. Birdtown on the outside, forging a short lead. Birdtown to the front past the 8th pole under Edgar Prado. And Birdtown is drawing away. Birdtown upsetting the Kentucky Oaks at 18-1. Birdtown wins by a widening 3. The Santa Catarina, then Yell and Ella Love. And the time was 1:48.3.
So Nick Zito, a relative newcomer to the Kentucky Oaks, has only had one previous entry, wins with Edgar Prado aboard Birdtown, filly that broke her maiden. Churchill Downs around 2 turns. Obviously loves this surface, and obviously Randy benefited from the really blistering early pace, the quickest half mile in Oaks history.
That's what we were talking about. Ella Love, she'd been getting away with such easy paces, and the pace was almost certainly going to be a lot faster in here. She still held on pretty toughly. Birdtown, Nick Zito's first Kentucky Oaks winner, and I tell you what, socialites from the Hamptons all the way to the Pacific Coast are going to be raising their champagne glasses for owner Mary Lou Whitney. As I mentioned earlier, her husband, the late C.V. Whitney, who died in 1992, one of the great names of the American turf, had won this race twice, but going back, 60-something years, 50 years, and now Mary Lou has a Kentucky Oaks winner of her own. There you see Birdtown rallying on the outside under Edgar Prado, picking up the pieces at the top of the lane. It looked like Santa Catarina was just going to swoop by them all, but then she kind of hung. She's just trying desperately to hold on there for second, and she does. But Birdtown, a clear upset winner.
And the winning rider is Edgar Prado, who joins us now. Edgar, congratulations. Did you know you had a great chance when you saw how fast the early pace was?
Well, my feelings told me real bad coming out of the gate, and after that I involved my time, and everything worked out beautiful.
So she stumbled coming out of the gate. How bad did you feel at that moment?
Well, I thought I lost all my chances there. Thought I wanted to rush and get there the first part of the race. So I put above my time, and everything worked out beautiful. I can't say anything else. It was a great trip. She ran real well, and thanks God, everything worked out beautiful.
Of course, Edgar, you also have a chance now at the Kentucky Oaks Kentucky Derby double because you're riding Peace Rules tomorrow for Bobby Frankel. What's your confidence level tomorrow in Peace Rules?
Definitely. Every time you win a race, you build the confidence. But we play day by day. Tomorrow's another day.
Edgar, congratulations. Wow. We will take a look at the break for Birdtown. He said he thought all chances were lost right here a couple seconds into the race.
It's probably not War Emblem-esque, but Birdtown still, that's a
not
pretty
good
little stutter step there. And actually, it's funny in horse racing how it looks so bad like that, but then actually when you see the pace, 46 seconds flat, the fastest in Oaks history, it actually might have worked in her favor in the long run.
Well, it is a stakes record of 1:48.3. It's the fastest quarter, half, three-quarter, and mile and final time in Oaks history. From stumbling to the winner's circle. Quite a ride for Edgar Prado, Nick Zito, the winner, and Birdtown. We'll come back.
This ESPN2 presentation of the Kentucky Oaks is brought to you by Citgo. We know you. By Visa, proud sponsor of the Visa Triple Crown. By Plateau Herbicide from BASF. We make Bermuda grass hay better. By Long John Silver's, dive into something new. By Claiborne Farm, where champions began. And by the Bessemer Trust, enhancing private wealth for generations. Equibase.com, your official online source for racing information from entries to results and everything in between. Equibase.com is a service of Equibase Company, the thoroughbred industry's official database.
Louisville, Kentucky, home of the Redbirds, and it's Birdtown on Oaks Day. Nick Zito of all years not to have a Derby horse, you get a chance of the Oaks Derby double, but got to feel good about this. This has been a very solid, consistent filly on the board all 7 of her previous races, but her first Grade 1 stakes, jumping up in class and taking up the big money.
And he took a very patient approach with her, too. And the lady there in the Kentucky Oaks hat is Mary Lou Whitney. She was married to Sonny Whitney for 34 years, and now she's got her own Oaks trophy. It's quite a story.
Let's go to Hank for some reaction.
All right, Jerry Bailey, who rode Lady Tack. And Jerry, what happened? You had problems getting to the first turn?
I got to the first turn okay, and then as we went around it, there was a spot for 3 horses, and 4 were trying to get in there. And although I didn't get the worst of it, she got banged around pretty good. For little filly, it's hard to take.
Jerry, let's take a look at it, and you can describe it as we watch it.
As we're going here, I'm going to ease back and try and tuck in behind with the horse with the red, white, and blue colors, Pat Day. The 3 horse lets his horse run up in there when there's not going to be enough room, and you can kind of tell that going in. And you can see a little bump in here. He bumps the 6, who bumps me. There's nowhere I can go. And it really takes a lot out of a horse, and also it makes her more aggressive. Now she's aggressive from the 7 furlong pole out instead of the 3 furlong pole, so she's fighting against herself in essence.
Obviously, that's what happens. That's what makes this such a tough game, and I'm sure you're all disappointed because this is a great filly.
Yeah, you have to have things go exactly right for you, and you take this and magnify it by about 10, and that's what you'll get tomorrow.
Let me be the 9,000th person to ask you real quick, how's Empire Maker right now?
Well, I went to the barn last night, and his foot, according to Frankel, is fine. He looked good to me. You know, of course, you can't tell much standing in the stall, but he says he'll be fine when he comes over.
Okay, Jerry, all the best. Thanks a lot. All right, Chris.
But another reminder, Hank, that you need the trip. You may have the pedigree, the talent, everything goes right. You need the trip. That was Alex Solis, the jockey on the 3 horse that he referred to squeezing in there.
And another horse that was bothered in that was the horse in the yellow silks, who was Yell, who nonetheless rallied to finish 3rd. So a good effort for her.
Last year, 20-1 winner of the Oaks, 18-1 Birdtown, pays $38.40. Santa Catarina looked like she had this thing.
A huge move to the top of the stretch, and then just hung, perhaps maybe a little closer to that fast pace than Birdtown was, certainly, and that made the difference in the last 1/8 of a mile.
And Elo Love just done in by the blistering early pace. No one can survive 46 and a half.
Completely different from the way that she had been running, all the way down to the last place horse you saw there, Go for Glamour, the horse that got in so much trouble with Alex Solis, who was nearly unseated in that incident around the first turn.
Well, you had the wrong Zito horses, the Budweiser long shot, but very few had Birdtown.
Can we redo? Birdtown, it looked okay on paper. I mean, Nick Zito did take an extremely patient approach with her. He could have run her in the Bonnie Miss at Gulfstream. He decided, no, let's push in a little too hard, too quickly. So he backed off and ran her instead in the 7 furlong stakes, and she won by 12.5. I'm talking myself into her as the Bud Long shot, but I think it's too late.
It is a little too late. This was a terrific move because I think Bob Baffert might have felt pretty good about his chances with Santa Catarina until that late move.
And you can see Santa Catarina go back 4, 5, 6, 7 horses on the far outside. She's beginning to move. She'll be, unfortunately, though, about 4 to 5 wide as they go into the turn. That's Elo Love on the inside. And, of course, the horse pressing her, Tempest Fugit, through those very fast fractions. And then Santa Catarina makes this huge sweeping move. That's Lady Tack now right outside of Elo Love. So a 3 of the favorites there, the top favorites, right there in the line at the top of the stretch. But at this point, they have gone, as we've said, at the fastest pace in Oaks history. So something had to give. And Birdtown right there, she's on the outside of the 2nd flight of horses. And she will make that strong surge just like Arda Amiga did last year.
That's a great burst.
It is. It's an exceptional horse. Right here, I still thought Santa Catarina might have had it, but not for long.
But to recover from a stump out of the gate, which it was almost like Royal Miss Belmont. Almost like that. Let's go to Hank.
What did you do with this horse in that she seemed to change, or you changed your strategy coming from off the pace?
Hank, honestly, it was faith because she stumbled leaving the gate. We just wanted to lay her, normal close, but she stumbled leaving the gate, and next thing you know, she was last, but Edgar did a great job, and what could I say? This is the lady that did it because she bred it. I didn't have anything to do with this one.
Did you see her stumble coming out?
Yes, and I was worried about that, but she's a wonderful filly, and she's very game. She's not very big, but a lot of good things come in small packages. And I want to say that my husband John and I have a group of people who give us our ideas on who we should breed our mares to. I crossed out all of them, and I said, I want Cape Town.
Nick, this is your first Oaks. You've won 2 Derbies. I know Kentucky's always been special to you. Your feelings on winning the Oaks now and adding that to your mantelpiece?
It's wonderful. I can't. I can't thank God enough, and I'm happy for who I did it for. I mean, this is the queen of racing, the queen of all of New York and Kentucky. Everybody knows, and around America. She's helped millions of people. She's a sweetheart, and thank you for not listening to anybody, Mary Lou, and breeding that horse to Cape Town.
I hope the Hall of Fame voters in Saratoga were watching today, Nick. Back to you, Chris.
Hank, thank you. There are great stories in this sport everywhere in every race. That's one of them. I mean, Nick Zito, obvious, deep disappointment not having a Derby horse, but it's mitigated somewhat by winning the Oaks.
For guys like Wayne Lucas and Bob Baffert and Nick Zito, I mean, the Kentucky Oaks is a great race. Obviously, it's a great race for anybody in horse racing, but the Kentucky Derby, if you don't have a horse in the Kentucky Derby, those guys are always looking forward to next year.
More than 100,000 witnessed the big upset today. You got to get stand by for the handicapping show. Give us one closing thought on this show before the handicapping show on tomorrow's Derby.
One closing thought: as good as the card was today, all day long on Kentucky Oaks Day, it's going to be even better tomorrow on Derby Day. You got to tune in tomorrow. It's going to be fantastic.
All right. I know you guys will have plenty of winners. It is a great card of stakes races, and of course our coverage will begin bright and early. We'll continue right up till NBC comes on the air with the race call for Derby 129. Then you got to flip back over for highlights and analysis. Birdtown owns Kentucky Oaks Day. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Handicapping the Derby is coming up next.
The betting order.